Hello ladies and gentlemen, my apologies for the early start. This has just caught me off guard as well, but welcome to round 3 of the Oman International Drift Championship, and as you can see our first battle is underway. We have Benediktas Čirba leading our top qualifier and Foo Wei Shern, who qualified in 32nd, as we see Čirba putting foot to the floor and pulling a gap, absolutely leaving Foo just sitting there in the smoke, getting lost. And Čirba now transitions into the last wall, along the wall, filling zone 9, absolutely lovely, into the final transition now, and over the line. We see him coming through zone 10. There we have it. So yet again, I want to welcome you all to round 3 of the Oman International Drift Championship here in the Oman Drift Arena. My name is Mike Gleeson and I will be your commentator today, and what an event we have lined up, as we have 32 cars ready to go to war to try and figure out who is going for that top step on the podium this afternoon. So as we see the replay of the first half of that battle between Benediktas Čirba and Foo Wei Shern, you can clearly see, I don't like to speculate too much, but I see Foo there is just cutting the track, trying to catch up. Čirba just showing why he is that top qualifier, putting on an absolute masterclass. His car is unbelievable. Okay, so we have swapped him around. It's Foo Wei Shern to lead, and it's Benediktas Čirba to chase. We see both cars coming down the straight. Čirba knowing his spotter being in his ear, telling him he has a bit of disadvantage, leaving a small bit of room, but you don't want to leave too much room. Foo now absolutely doing anything he can. He knows how fast Čirba is. He is just pedaling that BMW, trying to get away from Benediktas Čirba, but Čirba is just sitting right there with him, playing with him as they come through clip 5 now, working their way out to 6, and as we see Foo Wei just dropping 4 wheels off the track. Čirba does a great job not to make contact there, holding it lovely on angle as he just shows why he is the top qualifier. He is just so comfortable on this layout, and I think he is one to watch today. So yeah, unfortunately for Foo Wei Shern, that will be at 10-0, and I think we can nearly speculate who has won this one. There now, and this is just where it all starts to go wrong for Foo. He sees he's coming into the most difficult part of the track. Out zone 3, drops a wheel there at 4, which puts him on the inside for 5. Čirba does a good job to hang back, and there it is, just 4 wheels off. And look at Čirba, he just keeps the foot in, does a great job not to make contact. But yeah, I think it's fairly obvious who is winning. As we see both drivers there, delighted, and the winner is Benediktas Čirba. I am excited for this one. This is one I've been waiting all top 32 going, this could be a cracker. So fingers crossed the commentator's curse doesn't come into play, and I didn't ruin this for everyone. But the lights are flickering, the green light's on. Čirba leads, Clint chases. Both cars through chicane clean, and here we go. Look at Čirba with Clint nearly making contact as he throws it in. Wild! I think there might have been contact there. Clint knocking Čirba completely on the inside of the track, 4 wheels off, and Clint has just stopped drifting. Yeah, whatever way the camera angle there was hard to tell. Čirba doing whatever he can now to get it back on, but that's 4 wheels off, but I'm pretty sure it would have been forced by the chase car. Very unfortunate for Clint. He knew Čirba was on it this weekend. He knows how fast he is, so he knew he had to give it everything as he threw it in there beside him. Unfortunately, he might have gave it a little bit too much. Čirba just running the wall as he's coming into zone 9. Transitions for the last time and out to 10. As we see Clint making his way off the track at the background there. Sorry, I'm just looking out my window here, but it all comes back to this initiation. Look at the aggression from Clint Van Oort as he throws it in. Oh yeah, bit of contact there, push Čirba in too much angle, send him the inside. Clint straightens. Just unfortunate for Clint, pushing that little bit too hard. But Čirba, yeah, rest of the lap, gets it back onto the qualifying line and doing exactly as he's meant to do. Look at this. He looks like he's on train tracks. He's just sticking to the same line consistently. Absolute brilliant drive from Benediktas Čirba. So we remembered a bit of contact there at the start. Clint just a little bit too aggressive coming in. He knew Čirba was fast. So it's going to be interesting to see what way Čirba approaches this, because Clint, he needs to push it. He needs to force a mistake out of Čirba. Well, the lights flicker. The time is now. Both cars leave the line, and here we go. Clint in the 14, Čirba in the BMW. As they flick it in, look at this. Čirba is right there with Clint. Absolutely stuck to the side of that yellow S14. As we see both guys, Clint is on an absolute phenomenal lead line for the first half of this run. But Čirba is like a dog with a bone. He is stuck right there beside Clint. This is a masterclass in the chase from Čirba. But oh! Clint just over-rotates. I'm not sure what happened. Čirba, if he made contact, drives off the track, then he just jumps back in, pretends like it didn't happen. Maybe no one's seen it. I am not sure if that was Clint or Čirba's fault, so it's going to be interesting to see that one in the replay. A little bit of contact there at the end by Čirba, but Clint is on a lovely lead line, and Čirba spins there at the end. I'm definitely going to have to turn up my judge speaker just so I can hear what they're thinking. So we see here, we have Čirba is, and we transitions back across. Look at this. Čirba is right there with him. Absolutely beautiful from both drivers. This is exactly what we all tune in this evening to watch. And look at this. Clint a bit too much angle, ended up was going to the inside clip a bit early. Čirba a bit aggressive, hit off him. That's a tough one now. That is a tough one for our judges. I would not like to be a judge on this. Okay, so our judges are just telling me here it is one more time, and it comes back to that section where, you know, Clint was a little bit shallow coming into clip 7. Čirba went the wheels off. Čirba kind of was forced because of Clint. The judges couldn't figure out which was the best way of doing it, so they said the best way is just let's run them again. Okay, so we're going to move back to the start, and it's the one more time between Benediktas Čirba and Clint Van Oort. Okay, the lights flicker, the green light's on. Čirba makes his way through chicane. Clint is right there with him. As we see Čirba throwing in big angle. Clint not as aggressive this time, not making contact, and hopefully keep it on. It's hard to tell where his rear wheels are. I think he's still on track, but Čirba now is putting the foot to the floor and pulling a massive gap. The speed of Čirba around this track, it is ridiculous. Clint, unfortunately, getting zone 3 completely wrong, cutting that corner out, and Čirba is now using that to his advantage and pulling a huge gap on Clint. As we see both guys transition back through clip 8. Clint has gone so far back, I'm not 100% sure what's going on there. Obviously Clint must be having some mechanical issues because, you know, his car is well faster than that. So, but we see Čirba doing an absolute beautiful lead line there. Just very unfortunate that Clint just wasn't in the mix at all. As we see, you know, Clint held back a small bit on the initiation, and then it was just from here Clint got lost in the smoke, goes very shallow, and then once Čirba puts the foot down, he calls a massive... Oh, wait a minute. Clint's tyre was debeaded there as he was coming through clip 4. That would explain a lot. That's a funny situation because Clint now has a tyre off the rim, but he's also used his only 5-minute rule. So I'm not sure what way it's going to be deemed, but fair play to him for keeping it going, one tyre on the rim. Okay, so it's confirmed. Unfortunately, Clint is not allowed to continue, so he will have to bow out of competition due to that D-beat. So Čirba will get the win and move on to the grade 8. So we see Čirba do one more pass of the track. Just yet again getting used to these forever changing grip levels as the sun has fully set down here in a dark Oman drift arena. Look at this run from Čirba. This is nearly better than his qualifying run last night. Absolute pinpoint accuracy. Throwing that car exactly where the judges want it. And that is what we came here to see. Lovely little wall run there. Hugging that outer white line through zone 9 into the final transition. Back out to zone 10. Yet again, right back on that outer line. I think Čirba's going to be one to watch tonight. I'm really excited about this one. So there you go. There are your top 8 drivers. 3 of these guys are going to be fighting to get on the podium tonight. Who will it be? Only time will tell. But we have Čirba versus Nasser Alharbali. And I see our start line marshal gets the thumbs up from both drivers. The strobes are flashing. The start light goes green. And here we go. It's Čirba. It's versus Nasser. Nasser in the chase. Čirba in the lead. Big flick in from both drivers. Look at this from Čirba. An absolutely beautiful line. But Nasser is pedaling that VA 350 set. Trying to get up on the door of Čirba, which he does. Lovely transition through the smoke. Both guys so deep into zone 3. This is exactly what we came to see. Nasser is putting it right up to Čirba. Maybe getting a bit too much on the inside, picks up a cone. Hopefully he doesn't get locked in his steering kit. As we see both guys, massive transition again from Nasser. How did he not make contact with the back of Čirba's car? Wow, that is beautiful driving from both guys. Čirba on a lovely lead line. Nasser, one last huge dive. Oh, he made contact with Čirba, hits him again over the line. Wow, that is what we came here to see. Absolute brilliant driving from both Benediktas Čirba and Nasser Alharbali. Just watching the replay here again, this is a great start to the top 8. Look at this. Nasser is right with Čirba there now. The only mistake I'd say is here. He ends up too much on the inside. I'm not sure if Čirba brought him in or not. The judges did say that if the lead car leads you in there and you're in the chase, just keep going. So it'll be interesting to see the judges' take on that one. But look at this transition. Both guys out to the wall. How did they not make contact? Absolutely beautiful. I think there was a small bit of contact here on this transition. Boom, boom. There it is there. Nasser still holding it on angle. Čirba doing exactly as he's asked. Wow, brilliant driving. So our judges are just looking at loads of different camera angles here. They want to make sure what happened with that inside clip. Was it Čirba that led Nasser off, or did Nasser just too aggressive and ends up on the inside? So I think that corner could be a crucial part in this. But look, we have both cars on the line. We have Nasser Alharbali to lead and Benediktas Čirba to chase. It's El Salvador versus Lithuania. The drivers give the thumbs up, the lights are green, both cars leave the line. So it's Nasser to lead, it's Čirba to chase. As we hear the screams of Nasser's car coming out of the straight. But look at this, Nasser throwing it in, and Benediktas Čirba a bit shallow there now, kind of getting caught off guard. A bit unexpected to see that. Now he's putting the foot in, trying to reel in Nasser. I see Nasser on a lovely line. Look at the speed of this 350C. Čirba is getting dropped back. He needs to start drilling in. He cannot let Nasser go. Nasser was chewing the back door off that car. And we can't see a thing as they come through the smoke. Absolutely blinding our cameras. But there's still a gap. Čirba just doesn't have an answer for the speed of Nasser. As we see them transition for the final time. Fill in zone 10 and over the line. Wow. I'm not going to lie to you. I wasn't expecting that. I thought Čirba had the pace for Nasser. I knew they were both fast, but Nasser just put foot to floor. Watch this, just gone. Čirba doing whatever he can, makes a dive there, puts a little bit too much angle on, and then this is where Nasser, once he comes out of his own tree, starts to open up the gap. Puts the foot down and just increases the gap all around. Čirba now does a great job of sticking on the qualifying line. He didn't deviate away from that line at all. But Nasser, yeah, look at that, lovely. Through the smoky section, not as deep onto the wall, but still he is outside of that zone, so it will be interesting to see what way the judges shall call this one. And your winner is Nasser Alharbali. So I think I see both cars on the line. I do. It is Benediktas Čirba to lead and Mick Kelly to chase. As we see the light goes green, and here we go for the first battle in our top 32. It's Čirba in the yellow BMW. It's Mickey Moo in the green 180SX. As Čirba throws it in. Lovely initiation. Absolutely smoking Mickey Moo out of it. Unfortunately, Mickey Moo not having the pace for Benediktas Čirba. That Eurofighter is just on a different level, and today he seems to be getting faster and faster as we see him nailing the perfect qualifying line. Look at this for Čirba. Very unfortunate for Mickey Moo now. He's just getting lost a small bit, dropping back in the smoke there. The absolute tire smoke coming off that Eurofighter is insane. But yeah, Mickey Moo just getting a small bit wrong as we see him now putting a few tyres off, just coming through that last section and getting blinded by the smoke as Čirba brings it over the line. I think I've already said it once in the start of this live stream. I don't know if anyone has the pace to match Benediktas Čirba. He is on another level and he seems to be just getting faster and faster. So it's going to be interesting to see what way he will go this afternoon, because we all know he wants to be that champion. He is doing a lot. He's doing everything right. He's doing all the right moves to try and make himself champion. So it's going to be an exciting one. But yeah, just very unfortunate there for Mick Kelly, just getting lost in the smoke. You know, there's a lot of smoke coming off the back of that BMW. So it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen when we switch them around. You know, it's all good. Čirba been fast, but now he has to my apologies. Now he has to chase Mick Kelly. So yeah, very, very interesting. Maybe dropping 1-2 wheels there in that last corner. Very hard to tell. There's that much of the smoke from Čirba's car. So we have two cars on the line. It's the second half. It's Mick Kelly's lead. It is Benediktas Čirba to chase. Listen to the screams of that 180SX that comes down. Čirba just sitting back a little bit too cautiously, but he doesn't want to be too cautious. He needs to get right there and stick with Mick Kelly. Mick Kelly is on a lovely lead line now, as we see Čirba just playing there with the throttle, sticking with him. Mick Kelly cutting the track a small bit to gain proximity, which washes out wide. 2, maybe 3 wheels off there now, as we see Čirba now starting to reel in as they come through. Clip 6, Čirba right on the door, that 180SX as they transition for the last time. Mick Kelly on a very shallow line. He's going to have to pray for a miracle this last corner, as we see Mick Kelly now smoking Čirba out of it. But Benediktas Čirba, years of experience, and he's sitting there right with him, not one bit phased. So yeah, we just watching the replay there. Unfortunately, just making 1 or 2 little mistakes there as he's coming through. The most technical part of this track, as our judges keep calling it in the divers briefing. And yeah, Mick just very shallow there, not entertaining zone 5 at all, which did give Čirba loads of opportunity to get right back up on the door. As we say, and clipping points are there for a reason. The judges want you in them. You're expected to be in them, so Čirba doing a good job not to make contact, which is very unfortunate for Mick Kelly. We see both guys out of the car showing appreciation. They're pitting beside each other. But there you have it. Your winner is Benediktas Čirba. He will move on to the top 16. I think Čirba is going to be a tough guy to beat this weekend. Okay, I hear it from the track marshals. The strobe lights are flashing, the traffic light goes green, and here we go. Our top 16 is underway. Is Benediktas Čirba to lead? Is Denis Migal to chase? Both guys thrown in. Look at Čirba throwing an absolute beautiful lead line in there, doing a great job as he's coming through clip 2. We see Denis Migal now just a little bit on the inside, clipping that cone, maybe possibly putting one wheel off, but Čirba on a perfect qualifying line, as he was asked by the judges, putting that back wheel exactly where it should be on that white outer line. Absolutely hugging it left, right. But look at Denis Migal, he's right there with Čirba, stuck to the back of that Čirba fighter as he likes it. Oh, big contact! Big contact there. I think Denis just came in a little bit too hot, hitting the side of Čirba's car. Wow. How much that Eurofighter jump there was absolutely crazy, as we see it here again in the replay. But look at this lead line from Čirba. He's on a beautiful lead line. Denis Migal not putting a foot wrong at all, as we see him coming through now. Just maybe putting one wheel off inside clip 3 there as they come up now outer zone. Čirba on a beautiful line. Back wheel hugging that white line all the way around as they come through to clip 6. This is where it starts to get technical. So Čirba is flat, he transitions back and bang. Oh yeah, big contact from Denis. So it'll be interesting to see what way the judges will handle that one, but we're going to have to wait to find out to see what's going on. Yeah, look, the time is over, the lights are flashing, and away we go. So we have Denis Migal to lead, and we have Benediktas Čirba to chase. We see Migal clipping the cone in the chicane, throwing it in. Čirba leaving a little bit of room, knowing he probably has an advantage, but this is where he's going to put foot to floor now between 2 and 3 to try and reel back in Denis Migal, as we see Čirba doing absolutely anything he can to try and get on the back of that E46 BMW. Migal on a lovely line there, maybe just dropping one wide at the end of zone 4, but he's doing a great job now. But look at Čirba, he is right there with him as they come up the transition for the second last time. How did it not make contact? Oh, that's commentator's curse. Alan, you'll get used to it. I do this all the time. I just say something and then it goes wrong. But yeah, unfortunately from Čirba, he just made a massive dive a little bit too early, and it's going to be interesting to see what the judges think of this one.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened there. Obviously, Denis hitting the corner on initiation. The judges allow that. They don't restart the run. They'll take in consideration. But, you know, Denis here cutting the line here a tiny bit, but he seems to be doing a good enough job. Čirba keeping the gap. He doesn't really need to attack here. But as you can see, he starts to close in on Denis. And I think that was a smart move by Čirba. But maybe from this point on, he seems to be a bit of contact right there. You know, is maybe Čirba pushing too hard? Is he feeling like he has to push harder? Are we seeing something in the first run that maybe, you know, I don't know. Maybe is it possible that maybe Čirba felt that he was at fault at the first run and decided to push way hard on the second run? But that contact, it's going to just see what the judges say about that one. I would like to have seen Denis to try and at least finish the run. He kind of seemed to fall off the track pretty quickly. But, you know, you never know. When you get hit in the wheel like that, wheel-to-wheel contact, it can take the wheel out of your hands, and that could send the car off the track. So, one more time. Okay, one more time. That's interesting. I was going to say there, you know, just because Čirba got a 10-minute timeout doesn't necessarily mean that he was at fault for that first run. And so, obviously, they viewed Denis at fault for the first contact in the first run, and Čirba was at fault for the second bit of contact. So, one more time, I think seems pretty fair to me.
And this is the one more time, so both guys have an idea there's contact in both runs, so I'm expecting fireworks in this. Okay, so our start line marshal gives him the thumbs up, the strobe lights flick, traffic light goes green, and away they go. So it's Čirba to lead, Migal to chase as they come down the straight. Čirba, Migal, look at Denis Migal, he's right there with him, ending up a small bit on the inside, but Čirba, lovely initiation now as they come through the first corner, pushing out wide through clip 2, working the 3. Denis Migal starting to fall back just a slight bit, but Čirba's on a beautiful lead line as we see Denis doing whatever he can to try and get close. Čirba dropping one wheel there at the end of zone 3, and just over rotating from Čirba. I'm not sure what's going on. It's like since he had that incident earlier on in the first battle with Denis, it's just not the same Čirba we've been watching.
Yeah, you're right, Mike. And look, this track is one of the, even though it's a flat surface, and this is the driver's side of me coming out here, but this, even though it's a flat surface, put a wheel on the white lines, yellow or even the blue lines, and it's completely different. As you can see here, Čirba puts a wheel on the white line on the outside, doing everything perfectly here. Nothing wrong. He's actually starting to pull a gap out of Denis Migal. Migal understeering in the background there, but wheel drop number 1 from Čirba. Now, as you can see, he comes up to the wall, wheel drop number 2 from Čirba right here. He transitions back, he puts a wheel onto the white line, and that's it. Grip is gone. Spins, loops it. Hand is now in Denis Migal. All you got to do is a cleared lead run. It's more or less a 0. The run's pretty much ended. Big straight like that, big over rotation is a 0, and Čirba's half. Denis Migal has 10. All you've got to do is do a nice lead run, and I think this is going to Migal. So let's see what happens in the next run. Last time this happened, more stuff happened. So maybe it might go one more time. Hopefully it does. But, this is kind of all in Denis's hand here. So let's see what happens. Let's see what Čirba can do from the chase run.
Yeah, I say Benediktas Čirba now will be kicking himself inside that car because he possibly has threw away his championship hopes here at the final round of the OIDC 2023 season. But we see both cars lead the line. Look at Denis Migal and Čirba. You can see he's driving with aggression. He is right there with him. This is the chase run I was expecting from the start from Benediktas Čirba as we see him coming through. Maybe Migal a small bit shallow there, bringing Čirba on the inside. But Čirba is right there with him, showing why he is one of the best drifters in the world. As we see Denis Migal not really putting a foot wrong. It's not the best line, but it's not the worst line either. As we see Čirba now coming up, transitioning further. Last time I thought they were going to make contact there, Alan, as they flick back Čirba out to the wall. Miguel pulling a small bit of a gap around the last zone and over the line. Wow, I am very interested to see what the judges think of this one.
Yeah, Čirba had to throw everything there at Denis Migal, and it looked like Denis did what he needed to do in the lead run. Wow, look at the proximity, the closest we've seen all night so far. And obviously Denis here doing a good job in the lead run. Obviously dropping wheels, car not maybe the most powerful here, but Čirba really wearing the side of Denis Migal. Z46, there's actually contact there. Obviously both of these carbon Kevlar fighters really able to bump into each other and not really show much damage. As you can see, we transition back here. This is where we had contact last time. And Čirba, oh, a little tap on the wheel there. That's kind of interesting there. I wonder, is there anything extra there? Obviously, the judges have extra live stream camera views that they can access, so they might be able to see something there. But to be honest with you, I don't know if there's much there that Denis did wrong. So we'll be interested to see how the judges look at that. But I think, other than that, it's pretty clear cut. Čirba, I think, has seen his fate here, that he might be being knocked out a little early here. And let's see what happens right now.
Yeah, as we see Čirba driving around waving to the crowd. As we see Čirba getting out of the car there now, waving to the crowd. And your winner is Denis Migal. And unfortunately, you can see the heartbreak in Benediktas Čirba's face there. He is just so good. You know, his championship dreams is just after disappearing, and oh wow, so unfortunate. But look, that's drifting out.
Yeah, that's as we say back home in Ireland, that is how the cookie crumbles. And unfortunate for Čirba there. Obviously a great set of battles there. Obviously that one more time run. Yeah, look, not the nicest of battles, unfortunately, from Čirba's behalf, but he did his best, and unfortunately that over rotation sealed his fate.